with alleged gang ties are no longer in the United States. The Trump administration deporting them to El Salvador to their mega prison becomes as an Obama-appointed judge temporarily blocking the president from invoking a wartime act for deportations. They told him to turn the plane around. Trump didn't. Fox News legal analyst Gregg Jarrett joins us now. Greg, pretty dramatic stuff.
Yeah, it really is. And I think the judge here, James Boasberg, has made several errors. First of all, he issued a temporary restraining order without so much as a hearing or allowing the Trump administration to utter a word. Second of all, the plaintiffs being held were in Texas. This is a Washington, D.C. judge. He doesn't have jurisdiction. And finally, the exclusive remedy here under that law is what's known as a habeas petition. It's not a temporary restraining order. Boasman seems unbothered by that, and then he exceeds his authority, ordering planes returned to the U.S.
while they're in air.
Yeah, I mean, he has no authority for that. Once a plane leaves U.S. soil and is outside U.S. airspace, no judge has authority for that. So I think this is judicial activism. There's too much of that. Judges in the lower courts and the federal district courts allow their personal animus and political views to dictate their decisions and not the law.
137 were tossed, 101 were Venezuelan TDA guys, 21 MS-13, 2 special cases of MS-13. They were actual ringleaders. So we'll see where that stands. The Trump administration fired right back. Boasberg said one of the things he says is, make sure my order is complied with immediately. And both our president and El Salvador's president kind of mocked the judge. We'll see where this goes. Now, let's talk about the Khalil situation. He is the Colombia protester who is a 30-year-old graduate student who graduated, still living in campus housing, came over from Syria, went to London, somehow got a berth into America's elite college, and then has created havoc since then. Now, he's being held in Louisiana at an ICE facility, and his lawyers are working hard to get back into communication with him and give him his green card status and let him stay. Where does this stand?
Well, being a green card holder does make you a lawful resident, but that's not a right. That is a conditional privilege. And one of the conditions is you may not support or endorse terrorist activities or a terrorist organization. And the evidence is that Khalil was doing just that. There's another law that says if the Secretary of State deems someone such as Khalil acting against America's national security interests, he can be evicted without a hearing. And that's what Marco Rubio said. So the law stands squarely behind the deportation of Khalil. But of course, once again, it's being tied up in court.
Do they need to show that he had some type of contact with Hamas?
No, you don't. The law says endorsing or supporting a terrorist organization or terrorist activities. And apparently the evidence gathered by our government is that, he was passing out flyers, photos of Hamas glorifying the hideous massacre on October 7, 2023. That is supporting terrorist activity, no question about it.
Greg, no doubt about it. It's going to be interesting because there's more to come. It's not just Khalil. There are plenty others in Colombia. They're investigating multiple colleges across the country.
That's right.
And we begin at the Ivy League schools. Greg, thanks so much.
My pleasure, bro.
All right. Meanwhile,
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.